Where do you live?
I
live in Subuta. And what do you do? What work do you do? I'm a businessman. So could you kindly tell us, what kind of business do you do, by the way?
Business
building material shop.
I have a building material shop. You indicated in your statement that you have had issues with the NIA. And that you have had 2 main encounters with them. Can you tell us about the first encounter? And please break your statement into short sentences because they need to be interpreted into the English language. Please carry on. The cause of our first encounter, there was someone called Lalo Kante. He was also a part of that group of people. Which group of people? There were people amongst them were policemen and NIA.
Ani model be sate fan kono je mini alon kat ko ani iba dending kula mini alon ke bo ikata setim bub nyor sifalti.
There were also people within the village who were also in that group, people like Setimbub
ani Yankuba Cham nyolu
and others like Yankuba Cham.
Itolemu kuti multi minan ke ba dending ku kilingala.
These were the people who were on the same venture. And who is this Lalo? Excuse me. Who is this Lalo Kante?
Lalo Kante.
Lalo Kante. Abenu banko kanjane but sai mala abedami.
He was within the country, but now I do not know where he is. What was his profession, if he had any?
Atela doku muni muneti natara abe doku lanu.
Antara doku bundat barafana kama mankeno bundal le labake.
He was not in any official employment, but he was engaged in the sale of land. You mentioned Seth Mbub and Yankuba Cham. Who are these people?
Yes, Seth Mbub Tofo and Yankuba Cham. Do you know the military?
Yankuba Cham atebe doku ala land sobe or fiscal plan was sifal barwa. Bunda to bunda min suti ate kene ko labake.
I mean, Yankuba Cham works either at the land survey or fiscal planning, but it has to be an office which is related with land affairs. And how about Seth Mbub?
Seth Mbub
fana kita multimia lonko ateka mankeno la karol la bake ngalo wal karola.
Seth Mbub too was highly active in the issue of land. I know him very well in that. You mentioned that these people connived with the police and the NIA.
Ya foko nyumu iteleni police ni NIA kanyome.
Who in the police are you referring to?
Ibe jumayi la maniko police jumayi la multi.
Police ni ngamo lonje mi yambatandi baka keta boto ketati.
I know someone within the police who disturbed me a lot, and his name is Boto Keta. And who else?
And
his subordinates whom I don't know, but he was their leader. And in the NIA, who are you referring to?
Dembo Mbai.
Dembo Mbai?
Atem NILT nyalon ka keta moti min keta nyaton koti nyinkuo kono.
He's an NIA officer who was a leading figure in this affair. And who else?
And Indima?
I do not know his subordinates. Knowing them is not easy. And what is it about this group of people that you can tell this commission? This group of individuals, once they are aware that you have a portion of land which you want to dispose of,
okay, so it's not from the ko itoli lafta dinkranye nale yet dawo da fere ke so wadala
and they will come to you and declare their interest in purchasing the place, and they will accept whatever price you give them.
So it's not fendi la mi ko takai to the dawala,
and then they will give you a small token and ask you to prepare the documents with it.
Nita da kai to the nata,
once you prepare the documents and return,
but janika fendi la kapureta kai to the ba follow kai to bale fen sign je ko yawo mutebulle.
But before they give you that token for you to prepare the documents, they will ask you to sign something to admit that they caught you with something.
No, you have accepted something.
Or you have accepted something from
that you have received an advance payment. All right, proceed, please.
Just didn't recall a deal. Maybe ni will come for but will it turn a little deal or will one?
They just give you a small token. For instance, if you charge them 300,000, they will either give you 15 or 20,000 only. During the course of the process, they will have access to your signature. Once they have it, they will duplicate that document to make it look as if you signed several agreements with them. So when they come to you and demand their transfer document, when you ask them to bring the entire sum so that they could hand it over to you and you give them the documents, they will not agree. And in that instance, before the sunset, you'll find yourself in the NIA. And when they arrest you, they don't allow you to talk. They'll just dictate to you and you'll do it, whether you like it or not.
Has that ever happened to you or someone you know?
Exactly.
It happened to me, and I'm not explaining an incident of another person.
Could you tell us what happened to you?
Telephone to so manda talanta ninkili wato atarankata hajila banki tantem businessman.
Once that happened, in the morning around 11, someone called me because I'm a businessman and I was on my way to the bank.
Mr. Cham, let's start with what has happened before you tell us about the call that you received. Give us background information about the land dealing you entered into, which resulted into the telephone call that you received.
Between banku kanu mfanga aliyekun tamandi nyadile au be sata nyen hanifo mune na takendi omari ye kumandi telephone kumandirola
ni ko le transfer dealer ibalante ko nakodo bedi na nyosabo kana woleto.
When they asked you to give them their transfer document and you demand for your monies to be paid, that is where the problem starts.
So give us background information in the experience you have had with them on this particular type of transactions.
Sai woku eka tamandi nyamin lafta yoto le jaba kese woto nyen kunyi mfonata nyamin kafoko ni ite yela transfer kaito la nite liyo kanite bunite yela kodo kani akakenya dile.
Kenya mi wala nyundi ko ka kayti jamale lambi nyakoto milan ko kayto itenene meje fam.
They will put in front of you many documents that you've never seen before.
Iko ko munkari watikari na inkola nanka mumbila ila saino fele.
They will tell you on this particular day, on this particular time, we give you this amount of money.
Here is your signature.
Here is your signature.
Kayti de fona abondu ko take ko watikari fo ila kodo nanka mo doya wa bank.
And then they will bring out another document and repeat the same procedure so that your money is either all accounted for or what will be left of it will be just a little bit.
Has this ever happened to you?
I am narrating my own ordeal, not someone else's.
Who did this to you?
Those who did this to you,
Dembombay,
Lalo Kante and Dembombay.
Police Botoketa.
And the police officer Botoketa.
Around 2005,
It happened around 2005.
I judgment paper I
have documents, the judgment documents, which I have forgotten, but I could bring them on a later date.
After your testimony, bring that document and hand it over to the TRRC investigations. Kindly explain to us that transaction with Lalo Kante, how it happened and how it eventually ended up at the NIA.
Sai inilla lo kante temo ko kete munen wo fonyen halifo wato men atata laban NIA lugulu.
Salle. Lalo Kante le follow nata nan anata konye ko sunkaro kono.
Lalo Kante was the first to come during the month of Ramadan.
Which year?
Sangina.
Around 2000 mafan barkaito bijele.
It's around 2005
mafan.
But there's a document.
Did you say 2000 or 2005?
2005 mafan nalomdal.
It's around 2005.
Mafan ladal.
Earlier you told me 2012. Which is it?
2012.
Okay, let me give you.
Mala remember mamutano hakilo kona kersaumin exactly.
I told you. Not exactly the year, but the document is there.
So you provide that document to the commission. Can you recall how many years passed between that first encounter and the second encounter of 2016?
Sai isi hakilo nendino imelo binyo la follow sanji jelle tambita hanfo jamiali be binyo la kotake me yalon ka keta for 2016.
Nta sam fono exactly barakaito be mbul suwakon because in man pare nta fem fono la mi yalon ko hakilo mamutano.
I can't say exactly, but the documents are with me at home. I'm not prepared to say something which I cannot fully remember.
Fair enough. Kindly tell us what happened in that transaction.
Time wa fonyen ako tilinda obetata waide kaitol bina bari between sila menketa wo fonyen bang.
Okay. Lalo Kante anata ko moiko glale bembulu laftame wafla.
Lalo Kante came and said that he heard that I had a plot of land which I was willing to dispose of.
I
said to him, yes, I have a plot, and so I went with him so that he could see it. He liked the place, and we had a discussion and then an agreement.
I also dinner.
He gave me an advance payment.
I also dinner. Will tell Lulu. I will money Lulu dinner advance what he gave me.
He gave me 25,000 as advance payment, and I used it to prepare the documents.
And how much was the sale price?
I tell you, international kachakono ale kambente jelule la kobe kene ni wafila ma jelule la kono kobe.
Amo maybe in kachata will keme will tell Lulu.
It was $150,000.
Proceed.
And then
Nakaitul be tapato for fiscal plan for ya approval of beke je ofana bembul suo ko ofana be bembulo kono.
I prepared all the documents and the fiscal planning department approved it, and I have all the documents with me at home.
Nata ngakuman pour ka diala.
I came, called him to hand them over to him.
Kanyin kanna balance wala aku balance tan natem.
I requested then for my balance payment, and he said there was no balance payment between me and him.
Nakaito muta.
I held on to my documents.
Manson ka diala.
I refused to hand them over to him.
BJ rek awoso no drong jani ba fol talantani kildo enali encore.
I was there the following morning. Before 11, I was called by the NIA.
Kontandanku Banjuni la headquarter.
He said that I should go and answer to them at their Banjul headquarters.
Do you recall who called you?
Yakelo sibuya banjumale fango ye kumandi.
Mi yan kumanda ko ni ko ni futata dato ya foko Dembo Mbay. Iben kumandela waramba mogula mimbi ne kumanda.
The one that called me instructed me to ask for Dembo Mbay once I got to the gate.
Mfutata yambi ndi kontonga lalu kanje Trrc.
I got there and I was taken inside and I found Lalo Kante sitting down. Lalo Kante sitting down.
Ni model form NIL malo.
And other individuals, I do not know whether they were NIA officials or not.
Dembo Mbay nata fenye ko enyi sutele nkai ha.
Dembo Mbay then said to me, can you recognize this person? And I said yes.
Kwenye ko mine dunte ni nyintema.
He asked me what transpired between the two of you.
Nata kumo Kenya beta ndia komi firol dunta natema.
Then I explained everything to him, how the business transpired.
I
prepared all these documents and they are ready.
Official transfer no be dia approval no be babala.
All the official transfer was there, the approval was all there.
Para ko kaito dia la mansong damanta man na korodin.
But he requested for me to hand over those documents to him, and I refused until he pays me my balance.
Kwenye ko faya karamta ko nyiye jol fa banda.
He said to me, Demambai said to me, are you aware that this guy has already paid you in full?
Nata faya ko mang banjola you will mwani lula oda male dina konta kaitol dadala.
Then I said to him, he has not complete his payment. He only gave me 25,000, which I used to prepare these documents.
Kwenye ko ibe mo kuman la jam mimi ne bel la jam.
He said to me, you will have to call someone to come here and bail you.
And Marini ID card le nyantanala.
And that individual has to come with his or her ID card.
Nata Imam Fati call.
Then I called Imam Fati.
Mbarindi Malamati.
My nephew.
Anin koto muso mbe bakiling Aisat Koli.
And my elder sister, whom we share the same father, Aisat Koli.
Nata yimofu
mother. We share the same mother.
Bakili, I'm not Fakili.
Same mother, yes, thank you. These were the people I called and they met me there. I was there from 11 up till 6 p.m. They did not give me food, they did not give me anything. They would not even allow me to perform my prayers.
Imam Fati Nata?
Imam Fati came.
I said Kolinata.
I said to Koli came.
Imam Fati Nata kumo nyinika meneketa.
Imam Fati then inquired as to what happened.
Inata kumo sate Imam Fati do kumo man Kenya ni nata sate Imam Fati wanyama.
They explained things to Imam Fati, but they twisted the story.
Imam Fati na rentefana nyinika minketa nga sate wanyama.
Then Imam Fati asked me what happened, and I told him what happened.
Akwel kan abe intonye kaneo.
And he said to them, you are provoking this man, you are troubling him.
Mr. Witness, what was it they said to Imam Fati as far as you know?
Imam
Fati.
What they said to Imam Fati?
Yeah, Imam Fati jabe minna wala mintiko.
What they answered back to Imam Fati is that
wala mintiko tuleka fenfem bara ni luwa tatale.
They said to him that whatever they did is in compliance with the law. And they had a serious tussle there to the extent that I was even scared.
Imam Fati fana man na sende.
But Imam Fati wasn't afraid.
But inte silenta bake.
But I was afraid, very afraid.
Nkel nga sije.
You merely described the situation, the circumstance, what happened, but you did not tell us what they said to Imam Fati, which was my question. What explanation did they give to Imam Fati, apart from the fact that whatever they did was in accordance with law?
No man can you ko etele fo ko etele fen ke woni luwa tata nyulale alafta lonna mun kalimu mun fo Imam Fati ye fo in o kan wali tan fo na kam ko ata nyoy asubata wala lonna
wala mo ñine keta ñimma ñankela ñine keta ñimma ñanakela ko ño sabaku wala dron ka tandile ko ale ñimuta mina man ke silewte anda man ke luwate fana.
They were just having an agreement that this happened, but it shouldn't have happened. That was the sort of agreement they were having.
But before that argument, or those arguments, did they explain to Imam Fati their version of what actually transpired between yourself and Lalo?
Jallo sababe kala. Itelu fo ye kuma fo Imam Fati le komenta mata eteni Lalo kante tema.
Exactly, nkol foten ko bil Imam Fati nata ay tolle folo ni ka mine kete toli afwai.
This is what I am saying. Exactly, that when Imam Fati came and asked them what happened, they told him what happened. It was after that Imam Fati also asked me to tell him what happened.
Did Imam Fati tell you what he was told?
For Imam Fati ya fo ni li mune fo ateye
Mole
fo Imam Fati ya fo tene wo molu mune fateye NIA do kula mune fo Imam Fati ye
mbelbe kono kilin kono ten. We
were all in the same place. There was no interpretation.
So you were hearing directly from the NIA officials what they said to Imam Fati.
Amunta ibamu ikanne itilbidiamu kan Imam Fati be kuma kan mun fo kana amunta ibamu ikanne
ba mo kan komi mbebe kono kilin kono janya min ron
alafta italiyem memfo alafta yewle sata
itele min tandi Imam Fati wala minti ko nyanta transfer dila la nyanta transfer dile la lokantele la andun koromantara na tema.
What they made Imam Fati to understand is that I have to give official transfer documents to Lalo Kante and that there was no money in terms of balance between us.
Okay, and what did you say to Imam Fati?
Itelu nata mune sata Imam Fati ye
Imam Fati nata ntenyi nika fukorobe ni tema bankai ha korobe ni tema la andun niwe mkorobe man dinta transfer dile la.
Imam Fati then asked me, is there any payment between the two of you? And I said, yes. And if they do not pay me, I will not give them the transfer documents.
And that is what led to the arguments, the back and forth. Is that the case?
Exactly. Well, not in your sabo si Imam Fati ni NL tema. Folabon le fay ikasaranyo ke wilta nyokama.
Yes, that was the reason why there was an agreement between Imam Fati and the NIA officials. In the end, they were shouting at one another and even were about to start a fight.
So Imam Fati na kamfa kwenye ko batuntangata janning ni kasfutanyola batuntangata nkai kata badan telmi sija ko batumata.
Imam Fati got angry and he got up and told me that, well, let me go before I'll get to a very dangerous stage with these individuals. And I said to him, no, don't go, because I am the one that called you.
And Imam Fati mean for
and I realized that what Imam Fati said was the truth.
But Imam Fati ko tonyata.
But they were not ready to accept that truth.
Amunta ala taroje sila na Fati jamfana ngabula nkai ko sila na yamuta jandunga kwenye ko ila kutu alabulu. It
was as if his presence there was not important. So then I said, well, I will allow you to go. But then I said to him, what about my detention here? He said, well, just take faith and believe in God. They are just human beings as you are.
Which NIA officer was in charge of the case at this time?
NIA officer Kunna.
Wo tembo no kiliyale modicate ilom bari ngamin tola wala mudembo mbaiti ando atele call ka kwenye ko nifata dato ya fo konka mol nyini ka minto mudembo mbaiti ibebula lena tambina.
It's not easy to know them, but at the time the only one person that I can whose name I can recall was Dembo Mbai, and he was the one that called me and told me to inquire, ask for him once I get to the gate.
And then what happened after Imam Fati left?
During Imam Fati tata muna nata ke?
Nata NI careful dinner.
They gave me 2 NIA officers.
We bulanno kan kata na bunkono kata kai bulanno kan ni na suokono.
And they instructed them to follow me to my house.
But do you remember their names?
Fo o mo fuloni hakilo to lu mutalabang.
Ani me be tola mo kilindro dembo bay dro ngodo ne tolon telefono to ni nata nyini ka bira bo tola mammo tolon no kono.
I don't know their name. The only person I knew was the Mumbai.
And I don't know
and he was also their head on that occasion. He tells them what to do.
What were they told, or what were you told they were to do at your house?
Ye mune fo nimoli wala mune fo ite ko nini tata nyula be mune kele la bungo kono.
Wolo to malo jita minna je be konye ko mbambo fula ni na suwo kono.
At that instance, I did not know what they were to do, but they told me that they were going to give me 2 people to go with me to my house.
Did you ask them why?
Fo ye nyini kala munon na iniru nyanta tala ila kordato.
Wote bonte me nyini gande ka kudole mira minni tolle fo nyini ka mankele jita minna malo ko ngatanno.
At that time, I did not ask them. What I was thinking of was different from that. So I said to them, let's go.
Did you eventually go to your house?
Sai inina tana tala ila kordato bal.
Ha mfutata birim futata.
When we got there,
yanyini ka nasira mi bembun nabun kono ngasanjelella.
They asked me the cost of or how much I bought the seats that were in my room. They asked me how much I bought my television set for. Even my clothes, they asked me how much I bought them for.
Did you answer them? Did you tell them how much you bought them for? Or did you tell them to mind their own business?
Ika fo ko nasa yini la fudun iko ko manka Allah hajiti
ndema fo manka Allah hajiti bar ngat hakile mimma ko ngani sanyindela mo fo la bar hakile ma mimma ko nyindo ngani sanyindela mo fo noye.
Well, I did not tell them to mind my business, but when they asked me the cost of any of the items which I can recall, I will tell them. And those that I cannot recall, I will tell them that I cannot recall.
And what happened afterwards?
They wrote it down, and once they were done, they asked me, let's go. But then my mother was there, and she was very advanced in age. They would not even allow me to go close to my family once we were at home. My mother cried.
The
reason why she cried was the fact that I am her only male child. And I am the only one with them.
At this stage, how was the NIA perceived in your area? How was it perceived by the people in your area?
No, my father. In our area, once you mention NIA, if there were 3 people, they will leave you seated down there alone. People would suspect that perhaps you are one of them and is only undercover trying to find out what people will be saying.
And why was that?
Nte molta fono bar nte ngalo nte tala do ngalo kadko imu masibe molleti imanke kaira moti.
I cannot talk about other people. I can only talk about myself. But I know that there are people of
they behave like the devil himself.
That is why whenever their name is called, those that love themselves will get up and go.
Were you afraid of the NIA?
Very well.
So did you eventually leave your home to go with them?
Say ini na tabo ila korda kono le purimi yeta yola.
Nibe muru le fana koreke nadimba sunuta bake.
While we were going back with them, my family was sad.
Bari nahakilo nata Imam Fatila kuma kilima.
But my mind remembered a statement that Imam Fatih said.
Akonya ko mollo miti komite.
He said to me, they are human beings just as you are.
Manke malaikati.
They are not angels.
Anin kuta kelela alama min safe.
And nothing will happen to you which has not been ordained by God. At that point, I calmed down. We returned back into the vehicles and left. But before we left, I spoke to my family. I said to them, nothing will happen to me which is not the will of God. And be yourselves. We got into the vehicle and returned.
Around after 2.
Our return was around after 2 towards 3.
At what time of the day? In the early morning hours or in the afternoon?
After 2.
In the afternoon, after 2. When we arrived, I requested to pray. The Mumbai would not allow me to get up from where I was seated. I swore earlier on, and I am going to swear again for the second time. At that point, Lalo Kante said that he threatened to shoot me.
Or he will kill me with his vehicle.
No kaloke na California minketa wo multi billahi lalu kante kalita wala NL officer to ako abembu na kido la emfa waranta anta kimoto la emfa because wote mbonta katama simal.
Lalo Kante swore that he will either shoot me with a gun and kill me or knock me down with his vehicle because at the time I was using a motorbike.
Oh, NL kuke jate lefta minna.
Or the NIA should do something that he, Lalo Kante, wants.
Onyamale inata yanna korata.
That was how they took over my house.
Compound.
Transfer nyimbe min ngabe de daya taya di Lalo Kante la.
They also took the transfer documents which I prepared and handed them over to Lalo Kante.
Who took the documents from you?
Nale kaito ninta itebulo kono.
NIL.
The NIA.
Who in the NIA did that?
Nale yoke NIA kono.
Dembo Mbai. Atele be command Josilo Atemila of Sokono Kebat.
Dembo Mbai, he was commanding them in that occasion.
Were you given any documents to show that the transfer document was taken away from you by the NIA?
Fodu Italy kaiti detail le memba item la ko transfer kaito lulu to nyato nya Italy luta itebulle. We kaiti dila le memba de finance de yalaba.
Hani man kaiti dinna.
No, they gave me no document.
Do you know what Mumbai did with the documents he forcibly took from you?
Fayalo le bandu Mumbai na tamuneke wa kaito la ay men forcé to ta itebulu.
Ah.
Yes.
What did he do with them?
Ay muneke ya.
Okay, mean that Lalo Kante fiscal plan approvement of our official transfer minga.
The documents that are prepared, that is the official transfer documents for Lalo Kante. They are with me in the house.
Lalo Kante
I'll bring them.
Cancel. Come in, man faso kotake. Wakaito man faso kotake.
Lalo Kante cancelled them.
On the documents,
interpret that. Please.
On the documents, Lalo Kante just took a pen and wrote cancelled on each of those documents just to destroy their validity.
Hold a second. We want to understand what actually happened. You told us that the transfer documents, including the physical planning approval and all in the name of Lalo Kante, you handed over to the NIA, correct?
wo kaytol mun be yedda katabula transfer kaytol nyum fano me ya lon ko physical planning yedda hanfo ya approve iko yolu be di nyum yolu tale
Dembo Mbay.
Exactly.
Okay. Did Dembo Mbay hand over those documents to Lalo?
For Dembo Mbay yo kaytol di Lalo kantele le bang.
Bala mo nga je tambe nga je senede ko kaytu kilingolu ni ñede da fiscal plan min pon ko nyanta wala dira Lalo kantela. Those documents Mbay yo kayto le ta be ke cancel ananta transfer kuto dada afangoy anaudi Lalo kantela.
What happened was that Dembo Mbay, the papers, the documents I prepared, being the transfer documents approved by the fiscal planning and so on, were all taken by Dembo Mbay. He took upon and wrote cancelled on those papers. Then he got up and decided to prepare his own transfer documents, which he prepared and then took over and handed it over to Lalo Kante.
La fanya sign, was sign, you know, kutamado na minda dala also beja.
Then that's the time when they told me to sign those documents, and they told me these are the documents we prepared at the office here, so you have to sign them.
What's the difference between the first documents you prepared and the second document that was prepared by the NIA?
Muna keta fatam falsoti. Ite fango kaiti follow lumenu dada. Amin ite NIA lunata kaito lumenu dada it ko ye sign. Muna ye fata.
Until time na kaito le form betato kaito be could also the malecon.
My documents were even more valid than those documents because their documents were prepared in their office.
For me atina uke malo branata fungo kaito yuminda le office mo sign silang ibita transfer dada ni wo kaito la kata alkali alintema mabe sente dati je ba unti tante fenti sign.
I don't.
What happened was that the documents they prepared in the NIA office, that's the paper now they are going to take to the alkali so that the alkali will sign it and then go to the fiscal planning for it to be approved so that they will now become, or they will take those documents and hand them over to Lalo Kante after the alkali's approval and after the fiscal planning approval.
What you are saying is they cancelled the documents that you prepared, got you to sign a new transfer undertaking between you and Kante, and that was the document they were now going to use to prepare another set of official documents.
Ite kaiti follow menu dada ye menu cancel ye fansun kaito lutai nata menu dada kutake amunda ite menu dada kutake wonya saying ibna wole tala ka feroke ye fansun kaiti dolu dada wala me ya lonko wole bina kala kaito titel menu londi la ko wole kaiti sobe yindi.
Exactly. Awe nyama.
Exactly. That's the way it was.
Nata fo ko sila bala le nyin kay don tinyala ngamin dada ala sende na naita.
Then I said to them, since you have destroyed these documents that I brought, hand them over to me so that I can go home with them.
Wala mbulo siyo kaito le fo bi ben bulu.
That was how I got these documents, and they are with me up to this date.
Why did you agree to sign the transfer documents that they prepared at the NIA?
Mwana iti sonta pruka kaito lu sign itili menu dada ila NIA uvisoto ni.
Nakalo fulanja njana ko Lalo Kante ko abembo na kidora abemfala.
I saw for the second time here that Lalo Kante threatened to shoot me with a gun and kill me.
Oh, nina bina traffic na enta kimotola emfa.
Or if we met in traffic, he would knock me down with his vehicle and kill me.
I mean, not keno man.
And that plot of land was not worth my life, so that my family would lose me.
Did he threaten you with death in the presence of the NIA officials?
Abe silangila wo faro la tumo menna akata NIA ni nyala le bang.
Nkombe NIA officer le kono be office killing kono kome be basirin janyami. Nimbe ka fojela to bun killing le kono.
I said we were inside the NIA office just as we are here, and all these things were being said there.
Anya killing dembo mbele akanyin kuna mfole ko.
He looked at Dembo Mbay and he was telling him that if this guy refuses, this is what I'm going to do.
Did Dembo Mbay say anything?
Dembo Mbay dun biringati Lalo Kante yo fo. Biring Lalo Kante yo kumulu fo. Kete fa alumbala ke bun kilo la wala ke take moto la bura yo fo dembo mbay nyala dembo mbay yo mo fo
akoto dembo nyanta blañin dila la ay min fo wala min ko fentantena tema and wala mto nyati.
He said that I should hand over the plot of land and there was nothing between us, and that is the truth.
And but why did you sign the transfer? How did you feel by the time you signed the transfer?
Walla ite be tembeda jumanto ye fanje nyaadi le mun hani fo me ya kendrio kayto lu sign.
Nyaade ko ni mo kayto sign na montar tankaring.
I figure out that if I did not sign those documents, I would be insecure.
Some family any minute.
They could kill me any minute.
And
from what quarters that will come from, I do not know. And if I die, I would not be able to say I was killed by so and so person. And I never went along with my family members for them to witness what happens. So I thought of this. I have no younger brother or older brother that we share the same biological parents with. I don't have it.
I don't have any younger brother or elder brother who is from the same biological parents with you.
So nadimbal kamala anina tanko nabalu so basainale.
So for the sake of my family, my security, my survival, I have to sign.
And after signing, what happened?
Video kaito sign nini matake.
Inadan sinije kotake.
They sat me down there that same day.
So talaworo
until 6 p.m.
Mandamori.
I was not given food.
Mansali.
I did not pray.
And
that saddened me a lot. The not being able to pray saddened me a lot. My sister Aisha Koli
was sitting down.
Then they asked her to sit outside.
So
when they called her, they asked her if she came along with her ID card, and she said yes. They told her then we are going to bail him so that you could go home with him. But each time we need him, and we do not find him, we will take you for his replacement. Do you agree to that? And she said yes. They prepared some documents, and she stamped, and she surrendered her ID card.
Then they told me to report even before 8 o'clock the following morning. Dumala dato?
Huh?
Because Dumala dato?
Office data, not a phone call, say. So my talent says in office data, you're going to report.
They told me you can go home, but tomorrow be here by 8 o'clock.
The
next morning, before 8 o'clock, while I was on my way to report, he was constantly calling me. Where are you? Come. And I said to him, I'm in a vehicle. And he that returned the anger, the sadness in me. Because I thought perhaps I will meet something which was more serious than what happened the day before. In one of the calls, I said to him, Dembo, I am not in my own private vehicle. I'm in someone else's vehicle, and I don't have control over it. Since someone bailed me, when I tell you that I am coming, I am really coming. I got there. He sat me down there again until 6 o'clock again. He released me. I went home. I was doing that process continuously for a week. I usually don't go during weekends. Every day, 8 a.m. in the morning until 6 p.m. When I get there, he will be there, and while I'm going, I used to take along my food. So that process went on for a long time, and then he said to me, well, now you can go. Each time we need you, we will call you. I went home until after 2 weeks, and I did not hear from him. One of my elders, a very good man, his name is Basiru Job, very good man. He saw me and just appreciated me, liked me, without us being acquainted. He asked me where I lived in Sukuta, and I told him. I was there one day, just after the Friday prayers, he came and asked for me. He came and told me that I came to see your residence. And that was how we got to know each other. One day, as we were sitting, he said to me, we have to do some business. Because once I set my eyes on you, I have this confidence that I can do business with you. He said we're supposed to go to Dubai to buy goods or merchandise and bring them back. He said, but we have to secure a plot of land so that we can build a store. He bought a brand new motorbike and gave it to me. We went and bought a plot of land in Sukuta. Up till date, that plot of land is there. We molded blocks, they are still there. I explained this problem to Basiru. He said to me, but Mr. Cham, I blame you a lot. You and I are engaged in a business venture. And you got into this problem without even telling me. I said to him, sometimes I want to tell you, but it is difficult for me to. He said to me, we must take this matter to the court. I said, with the NIAs? And he said to me, yes, I'll take them to court. He said, I will name one lawyer to you. They call him Usenu Dabo. He told me, go to his house and discuss with him. He said, whatever agreements you arrive at, I will pay, even if that payment is to come from the proceeds of our joint venture. You're part of it. I went, tried until I was able to see Usenu. I told Usenu my problem. He said, well, today you will pardon me. I cannot meet clients today. I am very saddened. He said, today the NIA have arrested one of us who is a very important man, and he was virtually our savior. And that is Antuman Gay. I said to him, well, I am here on the same NIA issue. Then he gave me a date. That day came and I went. I sat down with Usenu. I told him all of my problem. All my documents that were destroyed at the NIA, I showed them to him. He said to me, I will sue them to court. And God willing, you will regain possession of your plot, your property. Then he charged me $50,000. I paid him half, 25,000. And he started proceedings. When he started the proceedings,
Dunda kiti okono.
We were on it.
NL Bukana.
The NIS usually fail to attend.
Lalo Kante Bukana.
Lalo Kante does not also come.
Kiti Olumfai.
And then they will join the proceedings.
Tarsa Wanyama, Yelundo di.
We were in that situation.
Kiti Sambang.
Until one day they gave a date.
Until after 1 year. Until after 1 year. And for Sangobang.
Kiti Tarfa Sambang saying, Bukana, Moflo de Bukana Kitiola.
These two individuals never came.
But I did not see.
I got tired and I sat down.
Sen continue kabat and the amount understanding of the from Pareta.
Senu continued. By that time I had already given my statement. And one day as I was sitting down, I left the mosque. I casually said, well, let me just call Usenu. I missed him. I have not spoken to him in a while. I called him and I asked, how is our court going? He said to me, I have forgotten to call you to say that there is so much on my head. He said, you got a judgment and you have won the case. I praised God.
I said to him, after all this, is there going to be another problem for me again?
Then he said to me, take my number. This is a number that I am always with. He said to me, even if it were night time, when they come after you and they arrest you, call me. But also be careful with yourself. Don't forget wherever you are. He gave me a lot of advice. And I was in that situation.
And in the meantime, you have judgment. So what happened to the land?
They returned back my plot of land to me. And I did not.
I didn't encounter any other problems, and my plot of land was returned to me.
Earlier on, you stated, you mentioned Boto Keita. Did you have any encounter with Boto Keita with regards to this first transaction, the first land issue?
Boto Keita nata kudu yote male ni banku keno gwi ni senior follow maintain in nyingi.
Exactly.
Yes.
What was the issue with him?
Nata kulo du yote.
Coming I mean for Nadia Amofo ko engineer Timo Sorosukutami alankatuke kanyoma ko bake.
Just as I said earlier on in my statement, these people have a syndicate and they used to render assistance to each other.
Otimo mean AD police or light bika funtini seje.
And that group, once they hand you over to the police, you will never have the opportunity to see them face to face again.
One day I
was getting out of my compound. I got a call from one CID officer who told me, I am at the Brussels police station. Come and answer to me. I went to answer, and then he said to me, you had a land transaction with a particular woman. And then he produced a document bearing a sign, my sign.
But
But my name wasn't on the document. But my surname was there.
Cham.
They wrote there Omar Cham. The plot of land that I bought with Basil Job to build that store, that was the compound that they pointed to. Boso Keita said to me, the woman from whom you bought it from, I have not seen that woman.
Barinya lota Lamin Bayo kan.
But I saw Lamin Bayo.
Iri yang kumandi bottle office auto.
When they called me inside Boto's office.
Boto yenye kanka man fen kalamta ikamin be sata nel man fen kalamta jefe mba mo la jannato.
Boto asked me and I told him I am not aware of anything. All these things you are narrating here, this is the first time I'm hearing them.
But al nata kodi ya mo mana na mentema en sindi je fo wularo.
But as God will have it, he made me to sit down there until evening time.
Wodi ya mo mana na me biri man lo tan kan sotana because kaito min bije wala mnyinde ko Umar Cham nte dum manke Umar Cham.
But that case did not last long because they did not have enough evidence. Because what you had on the document was Omar Cham, and I am not Omar Cham. But before they released me, Boto Keita made me to suffer a lot.
Police
He took me to one office of the police where they used to append thumbprints. He thumbprinted my 10 fingers. As we were climbing downstairs, we met up with one male police officer. Someone that I am acquainted to since our childhood. But I do not want to name him here.
Why?
Well, I am just the one who does not want it. I can say it, but I am not willing to say it.
Write it for him. You would write it in Arabic and you would write it in English. Ila microphone or far.
La microphone. Iti amari to safi Arab kanto. Mimman kanate ngoba amari to safi la tubab kanto.
And you sign the document.
And you yakaito you sign.
I hope the microphones did not pick that up. Yes, it is. Mr. Chair, we would like to include this piece of information in the record, and I would give you the exhibit number if you agree with our request.
Request granted. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll give you the exhibit number once I am able to get the number from our team. So you met this gentleman and then you had a conversation with him.
He asked me, what is the reason for being here? Because he works at the headquarters and he knew where I was coming from. That is not a place of
it's not a pleasant place.
Then I explained everything to him. He said to me, well, go, but let's meet here tomorrow.
ikoni woina.
I told them these people have taken my fingerprints and they've asked me to go and return back in 4 days' time, and they are demanding $170,000.
Why were they demanding $170,000 from you?
Itel ko munanna itel be wulikame wulitawro wulo kanina itebulu dalili juma kan
Because you go silang wo keno minni basila o keno minga sampurka magasino je yewole bafunu musudoya so itol ko silang nyanta o kodo sendelo musola asafata keno la keno murun tolkan.
Well, they said that the plot of land that I bought with Basiru was belonging to that woman, and that 170,000 was money that was going to pay her off so that she, stops loan claims to that plot of land. This was said to me by Boto Keita.
Kay bari ñing ko do mbina fere ñaade silang Omar Cham ndem ko Omar Chamti akonya ko bela la janno on ko to silang alin tir sabadina o tir sabota ta bang arjumo fe kaynto arjuma lum fe.
I said to them, how am I going to produce this money? Because I am not Omar Cham. And they said to me, then he said to me, well, you are going to spend a night here. That was when I told them, well, give me 3 days time. And that the third day coincided on a Friday.
So nata fanyin police ko silang mabenjang arjumo bawo mabenjang arjuma lum bawo wal nyanta nala.
That was what I said to the this particular police officer that I have not named. Then let's meet here on Friday because that is the day that they have asked me to return.
Office.
He said to me, when you come, first start at my office. Don't get to them before I am aware of it. I said, okay. Friday came. I got there in the morning, well before him. I waited until he arrived. He asked if I have arrived, and I said yes. He said, then let's go to Boto's place together. We found Boto in his office. He opened the door and got inside. When Boto saw this man and me, even his demeanor changed. Then he asked Boto, what transpired between you and this man? Boto said to him, well, we just called him for questioning, that's all. But you have not exceeded anything else? And he said to him, no.
Because
He said to Boto, no, that's not the case, because I saw him and he had gone to have his fingers printed. Boto said to him, we did that just to use it in our investigations.
Okay,
then this guy told me, get up and go home. Take my number. Each time they come to pick you up, call me. And that was how things were.
Did they call you again?
No. They never called me again.
And this request for you to pay $170,000, what happened to that?
I didn't pay it.
So justice changed from you having to pay $170,000 to you not paying a single gutut simply because you came with one senior police officer.
Munta tilina talo falinu ketadami iye kane wuli tawro wulala wala nata falin britani nyim police ke ba do tata hanifo do to yalije ko nata yelema falinu keta imanga bututo jo
because he was more conversant with the law than he was. And he also realized that they were just trying to offend me, trouble me. And Boto knew very well that the senior police officer knew that they were only trying to bully me. But I was not released simply on the basis of in the police force. What ought to happen in the law was what he put forward to Boto. What's supposed not to happen in the law, that's what we put to bottle. Boto realized that the dubious activities that he was involved in or engaged in, this individual knew, and it was better that he let things go.
That's what showed me that these people are in the same team.
Mr. Witness, let's clarify this. Is it your view that Boto Keita was doing the same thing that the Mumbai in the NIA was doing? Or are you suggesting that they worked together as one theme?
Ite folklore jeroto amunta ya jeleko Boto Keita apareta men kelela ni ena elu fanalu fonoto yele kela nu fodu ila miroto ya jeleko nyumo dem Boto Keita ateninyu ena elu ibebe den kafu kilimolela ya jenyadi
no Boto Keita ani ena mambo nyokalama but team wo kilinati mini alkar ko team kilu min kata enalia wo team kilin wala fana kata Boto Keita ya but Boto Keita ni enal fana mambo nyokala man tera jerot.
Well, what I think is that it's not like that what the NIA were doing is the same thing that Boto wants to do to me. What I realized was that they were not aware of each other, but they were all trying to play the same trick on me. This is how I saw things.
Did the witness say, please Mr. Witness, clarify this. Did you suggest that the same people who were going to the NIA to pull off this scam were the same set of people who were also going to the police for the same purpose?
Munta kini kama ngolem ikonyi munu kata NIA purka nyi tapale yake la fo ataw mo kilimu le kata police fa nambang purka ataw ko kilimu tamani
ndaje tetile katu Boto Keita taala molu mo kilindro na funti tanga nyaay minje wala mo lamin bayoti.
Well, that's what I thought, because on the side of Boto Keita there was only one person who appeared, which is Lamin Bayo.
Nintimo ba serin sukutala wati jam bar ni ma ken talanteta dol ta fonol bar min ketan telan ko fojanne nintimo akoda sabi bel ko nyin kuriya timo ba lorin sukutale.
Well, a lot of people in Sabiji knew that these bad people were staying in Sabiji. If they have not been, if they had not approached me, I wouldn't have known. But I had later realized that they were staying in Sabiji.
The most of the police.
They have people in the police.
The most of the NIA
and they have people also in the NIA who they work with.
And they are also for fiscal plan for land so they and they
have somebody either at the fiscal planning or at the service department whose name happens to be Uncle Cham.
Well, kill a schedule the day.
He's the person who makes these sketches for them.
And welka tandila fanako nyuko rakari aba mole toyala o abu mokare toyala.
And he is the
korami malis na olong.
And he is the person who will tell them that this particular plot of land is under the name of Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. So this is how he will identify the place to them.
Mr. Chair, perhaps this is a convenient time to stop for the first break.
Between Sedo, Dalta, daha follow mental and Frato Watolema, between for chairman yet and sign chairman de la Moy.
Thank you, Council. I wonder if get some clarification at some point whether or not the witness is alleging that there is a criminal syndicate operating within NIA, or that it goes beyond NIA, police and the other institutions that he's saying. But the NIA connection is what, if we can get a bit more clarity on that, maybe when we come back.
Indeed, Mr. Chair. And that's the reason for my last question. He suggests that they work independently, but they are all a criminal syndicate involving people who are land agents, surveyors, and NIA officers. So they take land from A and fabricate documents and transfer it to B. That is what he's suggesting. But like you say, when we resume, we will further clarify that. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We will take a 30-minute coffee break and come back 12:05. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Supersonic's money transfer is giving you an unbeatable bonanza from now until the end of October. Yes! From now till the end of October, you stand a chance of winning a bag of rice when you receive monies in the Gambia from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, and Switzerland with Supersonic's money transfer. Amazing! So from now till the end of October, every time you receive monies in the Gambia from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, and Switzerland, you stand a chance of winning a bag of rice. Only 100 bags available, so hurry now and be part of the 100 lucky winners in this special unbeatable bonanza from now until the end of October with Supersonic's money transfer. Enjoy our safe, fast, reliable, and convenient money transfer service with the largest payout network in the Gambia with charges starting from $0. Yes! Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. The unbeatable bonanza.
Gamsobis in focus with Kalilu Banjang every Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m.
You want to know about the Gambia entertainment industry? You want to know the existing policies and programs of the arts and culture sector? You want to know about the governance and management of the arts associations? The program will throw a fresh light on the entertainment industry in focus. We will touch so many angles about the cultural sector, the opportunities and challenges, and interrogate them, and most importantly, offer solutions.
La ilallah sangai baram la ilallah la ilallah la ilallah la ilallah tijan fasaiqi qatamu miqwani wa dunfa minhu azani wa alul minhu aqrani wa qawli la bilhani مكس السيق في سار سنينا مقبلا للإله ذاك الإماء سيختجان خيبة تربة صفوني لك أزكى تسليم طول الليالي ليس يروي قلب المعب ذواتا في رقد في تربيك المتالي
واكر باي شو في Gambien Talangsi TV dañu ko isil chaque ajuma ñetti waxtu ba ñenti waxtu
Ya Fatus Guest House dama ne jox leen ma seen noppay yeen ñi nga xamne ni bëgg ngeen na dem Farafanya nak ñu bari den fay bëgg dem di xalaat ndax amna mbokk aw ma mbokk fan lay dem dëkk ak fan la du dem dëkk seen coono jeexna seen xalaat jeexna te ci biir Ya Fatus Guest House ñu ngi leen fa amal li nga xamne ni mom moy c'est ko self container
sala cabinet
ñaari cabinet ak saal
single room
néegi nag nekkut ne la naa jox waaye duñ leen laaj mooy sore naa ñëw indiwaale leen seen yére kase ndaxte yére yi sax foo leen koo def ñu ngi leen ko amal saala cabinet yi bu nekkaa nga am lal bu nooy saal bi ñu ngi ko defar ba mu yaaña toogu yi nekk fa télé bi nekk fa channel bi nekk fa channel bu la neex ngay cuun waaye nag amuñ si loolu rek yéen ñi nga xam ne yéenay dem ak seen famille ak seen njaboot benn nit wala ñaari nit ñu ngi leen fa amal waañ yu baax waañ yu yaaña bagage yi waañ yëpp ñu ngi fa yow yaay xool loo bëgg a tooga rek nga teg si gaz bi daal di taal tooga lekka sa xol sedda
léegi tamit nag amal lañ leen lii di AC ak ñu nga xam ne fan rek lañ am waaye amuñ si loolu rek ñu ngi leen amal fu nga xam ne foofu ngeen di toog ngeen fiixlu seen xel dal ñu ngi leen amal ndox ak courant 24 hours amuñ si loolu rek njëg bi yomb ba bëgg a dee
fu ñu nekk nag neex a xam ba bëgg a dee si gannaaw gaaraas si base bi foofu sa Farafenni lu néew rek ngay dox am si marché bi jënd loo bëgg delluwaat sa kër ak Yaa Faatu's Guest House mun nga noo jokkoo ñun si 790 1355
35 30 489
email si ombay7843@gmail.com si Yaa Faatu's Guest House soo leen fa demee dinañ leen jox customer care service bu baax seen xolay sedda ba ni ngeen fay jógee Yaa Faatu's Guest House Yaa Faatu's Guest House lii leen amal yéen ñuy dem Farafenni saay boo leen tëddee nelaw leen ndaxte Yaa Faatu's Guest House génne na seen coono